Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I am at Pinecrest Lake and Pinecrest Campground in Northern California, and this is the first day of the summer camping season up here. They just opened up the campground and today is May 18th, and today's video I want to talk to you about light waves. I've been wanting to make this video for a really long time, and today is the day that I'm going to finally make this video. So in one of my earlier videos, at the end of one of my videos, I kind of gave a teaser to this video. I showed you guys a flashlight that had filters on it, and it's a military flashlight. So I kind of set up this video, and I told everyone that I was going to make this video. It's just been a while, and I finally have the chance here at this campground to make this video.
My name is Doug. I'm a retired school teacher.
I built a camper van out of an old service van.
I will take you with me camping, fishing, going to the beach, going to baseball games. I'm going to teach you how to save some money. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Holiday Tinn.
Okay, so before I get too deep into this video, let me talk a little bit about where I am today. I'm at Pinecrest Lake in Northern California. It's off of Highway 108, and like I said before, it's May 19th. It's the first day of the camping season in the campground, and you can see there's still some snow up on the peaks of the mountains, and some places in the campground there are some patches of snow still, but the lake is really full because of the rainfall and the snowfall that they had this year. It looks really nice. So that's a little bit about where I am, and let's get a little bit more into light waves. Okay, so if you didn't know, for those of you who may be new to my channel, or you just didn't know, but I used to be a teacher. I taught junior high science, and I'm now retired. But one of my favorite lessons to teach was about light waves. And if you didn't know, light is a wave, and it comes to us on a wave. And like any wave, waves have wavelengths. Ocean waves, sound waves, light waves, they all have a wavelength. So I was talking about light waves, and I was talking about light waves and wavelengths. So light comes to us as a wave, and every wave has a wavelength. When we talk about a wavelength, we're talking about the top of a wave to the other top of the wave. We call this the crest. That's a wavelength, or we could measure it from the bottom of a wave to the other bottom of the wave, which is called the trough. And these will always be equal distances. So this would be an example of white light. White light is a very long wavelength. So white light has a long wavelength. It's very bright light. Now, if I was to put a red filter on my flashlight, red light has a shorter wavelength than white light. And then green light has an even shorter wavelength than red light. And then blue light has an even shorter, very short wavelength, okay? And then there's purple light, which I don't have an example of, but that's even shorter than blue. Now, in my teaser video that I had, that I showed everybody, I showed this military flashlight. And the military is known for a really long time that if you use filters on a flashlight, like I could put a green one, a red one, a yellow one, or a blue filter on a flashlight, I would get different colors of light. And there's some advantages to that. Now, one advantage is that if you use red light or green light in the military, it does not ruin your night vision capabilities. That's one example. But in terms of stealth camping, I want to explain it a little bit differently. So you're probably thinking, well, what does this mean for stealth camping? How does this help us in stealth camping, knowing that colored light has different wavelengths? Well, when you stealth camp, at least when I stealth camp, I'm a cheapskate and I don't have perfect blackout curtains, all right? I do things on the cheap, so when I close my curtains, there's still little spots above the curtains that light would come through. And the same thing on my door curtain over here, I would have spots where light would come through. And in the back, I have some black curtains, but they're not total blackout curtains. So not everybody has nice, expensive, total blackout curtains. So there still is some light that escapes through some of your curtains or your window coverings when you're stealth camping. So not only do I have in my van a military flashlight with filters that I could use in the night, I have this light fixture that I made. It has blue lights and red lights and green lights, and all the light that would come from these lights has shorter wavelengths than white light has. So I'm going to talk about that when it gets dark tonight and tell you how it's to your advantage when you use colored light when you're stealth camping, opposed to using bright white light when you're stealth camping. So I'm gonna have to wait till it gets dark, and then I'll use these different color of lights in my camper or my van, and then I'm gonna go outside and I will show you the light that comes through at different distances away from my van, and we'll see what this looks like. So while I'm waiting for it to get dark, this is a good time for me to let you guys know that if you like what I do here on Holiday Tinn on this channel, you can now support the channel. I have a beer fund, and you can support the channel that way, and some of that money might go into my gas tank so that I can make more videos for you guys. And anyway, the link will be in the description. And right now, I have some sandwich at my dinner. Okay, so right now it's starting to get dark, and here's a military flashlight with a red light filter. And in military, I was in the military, we used to read maps with red and green lights depending on what the operations order told us to do. Okay, so when you're in the military, or if you use a red or green filtered light, it's more difficult for someone to see you reading this map from 1,000 meters away or 500 meters away or even 100 to 200 meters away. It's more difficult for someone to see you with this red light on because the red light waves are shorter than white light. If you had a white light on, it'd be real easy for someone to see you. Okay, so in the back of my camper van, the two back windows have two black curtains on them, and they're not total blackout curtains. I always use magnets to hold the sides down, but it doesn't completely block out all the light when you're standing outside. Okay, so this is the back of my camper van. You can see that I don't have the magnets holding it down really well, but light comes through if I have white light on inside the van. Okay, so this is the side door to my van, and I just made this curtain out of a tablecloth and a bunch of safety pins. But what I do is I always put magnets to hold the edges. I've got some magnets there, and then there's some magnets in the front that are holding it. And you can see the top up here has a lot of open spots where light will shine through from the outside. And then this other curtain that I have that separates the cab It's just a drape that goes in front of a shower, and it's cloth, and it's very lightweight. Light kind of passes through it. It's got a lot of opening up here in the top. So if I have white light on inside here, all the light will show through the edges and show through some of these curtains. So it's pretty dark. You might not be able to see, but this is the outside of my van, my side door. You can see the light coming through the curtain. And then up at the top, you can see the light. Go to the front of the van. You can see a lot of light coming through the curtains up at the top. So I'm standing over 50 feet away, and I'm walking close towards my van, but that light in the doorway shows up from a long way away. Okay, so I walked outside and I showed you what it looked like with the white light on with my curtains closed. I'm gonna change it up now, and I'm gonna use the red light and then the green light and then the blue light. But just to be perfectly clear, when I'm stealth camping in a city and I'm parking on the side of the street somewhere, I never turn on these white lights. The only thing I use is this military flashlight if I need to find something in the middle of the night. And I do have these other lights that are red, green, and blue. So if I absolutely have to use a light in the middle of the night when I'm stealth camping, I will use one of these red, green, or blue lights. This is the red. Looks like this. And then this is the blue. It looks like this. And then this one is the green. It looks like that. So these are the lights I would use if I absolutely have to turn on a light in the middle of the night when I'm stealth camping. But for the most part, I strictly use the small military flashlight, and that way no one will know that I'm in the van. That's the whole point of stealth camping, is you don't want anyone to know that you're in the van. Okay, so the first light that I'm going to test, I'm going to walk outside and see what it looks like from about 50 to 75 feet away, is the red light. And that's what I have on right now in the van. And we'll go outside and we'll see what that looks like from outside of the van. So I'm standing about 3 or 4 feet away from my side window, and the only red light you can see is up in this corner, but you can't really see anything in the top edges anymore like you could before. And let's walk around the front of the van. The front of the van, you can see a little bit above that top edge of that curtain. I'm gonna walk 50 feet away and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm about 50 feet away from the van, and you can't see any of the red light coming out of the side window like you could when the white light was on. I'll start moving closer, and I still don't see any red light coming out of that window. Okay, so now I'm going to switch from the red to the green. So now we have green light on, which is a shorter wavelength than red, although it looks a lot brighter in here right now than the red light. We're going to go outside and see what it looks like from the outside. Okay, so this is about 5 feet away from my side door, and you can see there is some coming out of that one spot where I'm about 5 feet away. I look at the door, it's very little light. So I'm about 50 feet away. You can just barely see anything right in the center of this picture. The lights you see off to the left are camp lights from another camp, but right in the center of this frame is where my van is. You can barely see a dim green light. Okay, now I'm gonna switch it from green to blue, and blue is the shortest wavelength of the 3 lights. So I'm gonna go outside and see what it looks like. Okay, I'm standing about 5 feet away and you can see the blue light. If I got up close, so I'm 50 feet away, and right in the center of this frame is where you see a dim blue light. Again, off to the left you see other campers' lights, but right in the middle of this frame is where you see just a faint blue. Well, so there you have it. I don't know how much we really proved, or if we really proved anything at all, but in theory, filtered light, colored light, has shorter wavelengths, so they should be more difficult for people to see. So if you're stealth camping and you don't want people to know you're inside the van and you have to have a light on, I advise that you use a filtered light, like a red light, green light, or a blue light, because the wavelengths are shorter and they're more difficult to see from a distance away. So hopefully you learned something. If you did, you did. If you didn't, you didn't. But if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to support the channel, there is a beer fund, and you can contribute to the beer fund, and the link will be posted in the description of this video. So until next time, thanks for watching my video.